Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the 1 minute late retro wrestling review series. We almost
That's
made it on
right.
time. We just missed it. I was pretty pissed off when that happened. I mean, we were supposed to have done this like Wednesday, anyways, but you know, we got busy, so there's that. But yeah, let me introduce I'm just gonna say co-host at this point because at this point you're just a co-host. You're not really a
Yeah,
guest anymore.
I
So
basically took over as the co-host
yeah.
because
So
Dean moved to John, and then John's never on, so I'm the co-host. I'm
yep,
the co-host of this and the rundown.
yep. But you're gonna be on the rundown today. That kind of sucks.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, introduce yourself because you didn't say your name.
Co-host
That's your
of
name.
of all the shows, of all the wrestling shows, Chris.
No, you're not co-host of all of them because obviously you're not the co-host of like what coaches stuff and everything. So
Yes, I am, and I own them.
you own it. Don't you be? Will you co-own it if you're the co-host?
You caught me.
Yeah, I did. But yeah, I'm Owen the Birdman Finch and I'm the actual host. So yeah, let's
Co-host.
talk. Well, yeah, co-host because I can't be the host and have a co-host. That doesn't make any sense. Um, but yeah, we're here to talk about a past wrestling show. That's obviously what Retro Wrestling Review Series is.
And
And
what the retro part is.
yeah, um, and it was my pick. Now, obviously, I said my pick on the last episode, but I changed it. Now,
But
typically,
subject to change.
yeah, that's kind of how it is. So I'm gonna explain my pick because obviously it has to do with what's going down tomorrow. So I found out at the Royal Rumble, but they were gonna do halftime heat again, which I was very excited about. And I read they brought this back because it was like 20 years after they did the first one, which I don't really think is the case because what happened at they completely forgot to do the one 10 years later. So I just think they just randomly decided to do it, and I'm just trying to say that they're
It's
doing this.
far enough in advance.
Yeah. Um, but um, obviously I decided why not review the first halftime heat show because obviously that makes sense because halftime heat is literally tomorrow. Which I don't think it's going to be like this show. I think it's just going to be one match and then that will be that. So
Yeah, it's gonna be one match.
yeah. Um, and obviously I think it's probably going to be more easier to do, you know, the halftime heat they're doing tomorrow than what they did at the time because they have their own network they can go on and stuff. So
Yeah.
and you could tell but let's talk about we're doing WWF Sunday Night Heat. I don't remember the episode number, but it's from January 31st, 1999.
It was one of the. It was in the last year of like the WWF's version of it, I think.
Well, yeah, pretty much, yeah. And obviously this was like when Sunday Night Heat like was originally starting out too because Sunday Night Heat used to be like a big deal.
It
And then obviously
was
and then eventually it turned into like main event today. What main event is today, pretty much. So,
even superstars,
huh?
even like superstars too. When superstars,
Yeah. Um, but WWF, it definitely showed how hot the WWF was at the time. Like that they got like the one halftime show during the Super Bowl. Um,
even in general, getting a crowd like that. I mean, they probably
I think it was. I'm gonna
taped
guess
an
it would.
episode of Raw or whatever,
Yeah, definitely.
but like the Heat, like the Sunday Night Heat crowd was like jam packed.
Yeah, it
Like
looked
you'll
like.
never, if they did like a Sunday Night Heat like nowadays, like as it's its own separate entity, you won't see nearly as many people there.
It would be like kind of like what 205 Live's crowd is like
Yeah,
today.
like they leave after the show.
Yeah, because I remember we. I wonder if they still do that though, because 205 Live is better now than it was then. So
Oh, 205 is way better now than it was before.
yeah, but now I get to ask you the trivia question because this was Super Bowl 33. Do you know who played in the Super Bowl that year? And you can't say any team because I have it right in front of me. So
I forget, actually.
I'm not saying it. Yeah, I guess I'll say it. It was the Denver Broncos and the Atlanta Falcons, which are still
Oh,
teams
yeah,
today.
I know
So
exactly what that is. Yes.
yeah, and obviously the Denver Broncos, you know,
It was John Elway's last professional football game.
okay. And then the Denver Broncos won 34-19, so it was not, an easy victory.
Wasn't even close.
Yeah. I almost said it wasn't an easy victory, but I know. That doesn't make any sense.
Wasn't that easy?
But yeah, maybe that could be like that this Sunday, so who knows? But then obviously they had halftime heat. And obviously we're just going to talk about, the show pretty much. I didn't know though they did like a whole show. I just thought it was just that one match and then that's it. But I guess there was other matches and stuff on the show. You wouldn't remember it from watching. So I think they rushed like the first half of the show because what I'm just gonna guess happened, and it even happened during one of the matches because they like rushed the finish. Is like the first half of the game was like approaching, was like ticking down in seconds, and they clearly just had to do the finish right away.
Yeah.
I thought what was going to happen when I was watching this show, because I've never seen this show before, was one of the matches was going to like not have a finish, and they were just going to go right to the empty arena match.
That made sense. And it was weird too because it was like two members of the corporation, like they won like both their matches.
Yeah, exactly.
Like with the heel Shane McMahon who led the corporation on commentary.
Yeah, and he wasn't even on commentary the whole show. Like he was, it was really weird. And I gotta say, I guess it was the point, but he was like annoyingly heel too on commentary. Like,
it was over the top.
Yeah.
At least with Vince, like in the empty arena match, it was like it was down the middle.
Yeah,
definitely leaning more towards Rock.
Yeah.
But like it was definitely down the middle. Some of the commentary he's saying was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, which we'll get into that. But we'll get into the show. We had the commentary team of the McMahons and Kevin Kelly, but Vince only commentated the empty arena match. So, and we have an intro video package showing Sunday Night Heat, and obviously we got to see like the old WWF obviously they didn't do the Then Now and Forever intro because they didn't have that yet, but the old like WWF intro. And then we had China's corporation induction. So pretty much what happened is, I believe on Raw prior to this, Triple H and The Rock had a I Quit match for the WWF title. And, obviously the corporation teased like they were going to attack China. So Triple H, to save China, quit. But then we found out China was in on it with the corporation. So she came out and said that the reason she did it, and you had it wasn't like the whole corporation that was out there because Rock and Vince were in a different arena. I don't even know where they filmed the match in the arena. It was probably just whatever arena was there. So,
yeah, pretty much.
And then it was Pat Patterson, Jared Briscoe, the Stooges of Vince at the time, Ken Shamrock, who was the Intercontinental Champion, Kane, and obviously, which it's kind of weird to see Kane a part of this group with like his big mask and everything, but he was.
They even called him
Kane. Yeah, which was kind of funny thinking about that today. And then we had, I think I'm missing some people, but it was Chino obviously, and I think Big Boss Man I think was there.
Yeah, Boss Man.
And Shane McMahon's being like really cocky about it, and
he was like ridiculously like snarky.
Yeah,
like he was over the top heel in this.
Like Chyna talked about how she turned her back on DX because she got sick and tired of carrying their bags, and like Shane would do like the thing where like he would like he's carrying something on his back, like breaking his back, like.
It was so stupidly funny.
Yeah. And she said that she's worth more money and talks about how she gets to talk now. And then DX comes out, which at the time was Triple H, the New Age Outlaws, which Road Dogg was the hardcore champion at the time, and X-Pac, who was the European champion. They also showed like a little video because this was at the time they started Shane McMahon and X-Pac's feud, which was obviously building up to their WrestleMania match at WrestleMania 15. And pretty much Triple H just pretty much, she pretty much just made China's point correct because she pretty much says that she wasn't shit in the DX pretty much. Like it was kind of funny actually.
Yeah.
And talks about how all she cares about money because she's like a worthless whore, and obviously because I think they were on like a TV network that was very strict about swears and stuff, they would bleep it out. Because they do like a joke where where X-Pac tries to say that he's gonna kick Shane's ass, and then Road Dogg had to come on and say, "Well, he didn't say it's a PG show because that's what he would have said today, but he said that we're on a strict TV network," which was pretty funny. And they start their feud, and then Shane McMahon announces the steel cage match for Raw, where it's going to be Corporate Kane, which was kind of funny to hear that, knowing what we know about that today. So,
the Corporate Kane.
It would have been funny though if when they brought Kane back as Corporate Kane, he just came in this as this attire instead. Like,
oh my god,
yeah,
lose that money.
Versus Triple H, and that was pretty much the end of the segment. But I thought it was a good segment. Obviously, it hyped up the match on Raw. It is kind of funny though because didn't Triple H just turn on DX anyways and stuff? So
yeah, he turned on DX anyways, like a couple months later.
Yeah,
1999 was like the beginning of his heel turn.
Yeah.
And then 2000s when he really became, the top heel in the company.
So it is kind of funny, like thinking about that, like that they did this big heel turn with China, and Triple H was just a part of it all, anyways. It's kind of funny.
Triple H just joins the corporation like soon after this.
Yeah. But obviously it was a good opening segment. I thought China did fine on the mic because I think this was like her first like lawn promo she actually cut. So
yeah.
There's that. I did think it was funny that Shane called her the hottest member of the corporation, which I guess that's weird, but
yeah.
But yeah, obviously
we're that then.
Huh?
I guess they were into that then.
Yeah. And I did think it was funny that like Triple H was undermined in China because she was a woman, because obviously he's pretty much been the reason for like the women's revolution today. So it's like kind of funny to hear him say that back then.
It was
after
this
was like
Mania.
Huh?
It was after WrestleMania when he turned heel.
Yeah. And then obviously where all these guys are today, this would lead to X-Pac and Shane McMahon's match at WrestleMania. Like we said, that's where Triple H I think had his heel turn.
Yeah, it was at WrestleMania. He helped Shane win.
And Triple H would become a part of the corporate himself, and obviously it would lead to like his big push as like the heel world champion, and then
against the big time face on The Rock.
Yeah,
they kicked him out of the corporation not long after that. Long after Triple H had joined.
Yep. Because the Rock was kind of over at that point.
But even before that, he was over the entire time.
Yeah.
Well-made plan.
And then the New Age Outlaws obviously would continue to team up until like 2000. And then obviously Billy Gunn would just have tag team after tag team, and eventually kind of have like low runs on the mid code. And then didn't he jump to Impact for a bit? Billy Gunn.
They both did.
Yeah.
Road Dogg jumped in like 02, 03, like right at the beginning of TNA. But
they were called the New Age Outlaws.
There 2005.
And then obviously they had like one final one in WWE with the titles and everything. And Road Dogg is still there. He was just recently on Raw this week, but he's the head writer of SmackDown, or one of the writers of SmackDown.
He's like the head producer of SmackDown. Yeah.
And
he's in charge.
I think it's doing the same job except in AEW.
He's an AEW producer.
Yeah.
Which is funny because they're on television.
Right. How can you be a producer if you're not on television? So maybe Billy Gunn took the job saying, "Yeah, I don't gotta do shit." And then X-Pac, obviously, like I said, would lose his European title. Him and Triple H would have a feud, and I think X-Pac jumped to WCW shortly after.
No, that he had already come from WCW.
Didn't he jump? I was pretty sure he jumped back to WCW.
No, he stayed in WWF until like 2002.
All right, and then obviously he went to Impact, and then had like a forgettable. He won an Impact, and he came back, and obviously is there here and there. And Triple H, remember that pretty soon would be starting up his reign of terror because obviously when he joined the corporation, he joined the corporation in real life, if you know what I'm saying. So.
Oh yeah.
And then
firmly entrenched in that corporation.
Obviously, they were doing a storyline with Kane too, where they were forcing him to join the corporation because they would have locked him up in an asylum. I guess that didn't last long. So.
Yeah. I mean, they went back to the asylum actually.
Yeah. And then Kane obviously would have a big run in WWE. He would pretty much be there up until just recently because he's the mayor of Knoxville now. So, and then I think that's pretty much everybody because everybody else I'll just talk about had matches. And then Mankind arrives to the arena, which I thought was kind of funny because he just arrives in an old beat down taxi service and stuff.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. And then you had
I thought he was just gonna get out of the car and not pay the guy.
Yeah, that would have been funny. And I believe Kevin Kelly was talking about how Mankind doesn't drive at all and stuff like that, which obviously that's complete bullshit. Because how would he get? He wouldn't be able to be a wrestler if he wasn't driving.
He would get to the shows.
Yeah, unless that's how he gets to the shows every time. But and I guess Mankind showed up just in his Mankind attire too,
they just showed up in their ring gear.
Yep. I guess that's a common wrestling thing where you just show up in your ring gear,
It is common, yeah.
Didn't The Rock?
Because nowadays, if you show up in your street clothes, something's happening.
Yeah. And then you had the first match on the show. It was Jeff Jarrett with Deborah versus the Big Boss Man. The two matches that were on this show took place because Jarrett and Owen Hart had retained the WWF tag team titles against the Big Boss Man and Ken Shamrock due to interference from the Blue Blazer. But it's kind of sad to see that gimmick knowing what happens to Owen Hart not long after this show. So.
I know, yeah, extremely tragic.
But yeah, this match was good. Big Boss pretty much just dominated Jeff. I think they were both heels in this match too, which was kind of weird.
Which is weird because they were both heels, but Owen Hart was more the babyface.
Yeah, but in this match, Jeff Jarrett was a heel. But he tries to leave. Big Boss Man prevents him from leaving. He throws him into the post. He tries to hit him with the steps because he doesn't give a crap about winning the match, but it doesn't work.
Yeah.
And then Jeff Jarrett dominates for a bit, and then eventually Big Boss Man hits a spine buster, and he gets distracted by Deborah, and Jeff Jarrett tries to take advantage, but it doesn't work. And Big Boss Man hits a tilt-a-whirl slam for the win. I thought this was a good match here. I gave it 3 stars. So.
It was pretty. I gave it 2.5 stars. Decent. It was a decent match.
Yeah. And then obviously Jeff Jarrett, he would actually be gone. He was gone out of the company about a year later. And then went to WCW and then went to TNA, and he's just recently back now in WWE. He's gonna wrestle a match on Raw this week too.
I know. I found that to be actually pretty cool. Actually, I like that.
Yeah, because I don't think anyone ever would have thought that he would. And then obviously Deborah is just chilling.
Alive.
So yeah. And then the Big Boss Man unfortunately passed away. Let me see if I can guess the year he passed away. I'm gonna guess 2004.
Yep.
Okay. And then the Rock and Finch.
From what I heard from wrestlers and stuff, and people who were like his wrestling friends and whatnot, really really nice guy.
I would imagine, yeah. I believe
really friendly.
Yeah, and obviously too, he would have that awesome storyline with the Big Show not long after this.
Oh my god!
I know people hate that storyline because it's tragic, but I think
it's just so weird.
Yeah. I forgot one person, by the way, that was out there with the corporation, and that was Test. I forgot he was there.
Test. That's right. He was just there.
Yeah. Just like his whole career, where he was just there. I never understood why people like Test.
I mean, he had a legion of testicles. I mean. Yeah.
And then you had Ken Shamrock versus Owen Hart. This was obviously, the same reason why the other match was happening. Oh, and I forgot to mention The Rock and Vince McMahon arrived at the arena too, where The Rock showed up in his ring gear. But that made sense because The Rock actually was just, in his street clothes, doing his ring gear. So.
Oh yeah.
And Ken Shamrock attacks Owen Hart before the match, but Owen Hart mounts a comeback. If you would put this match in today's WWE, it would still hold up really well because Owen Hart obviously was really good wrestler. And then eventually the Blue Blazer, which obviously it was somebody else because Owen Hart can't be at two places at once. I believe Shane McMahon made like a funny comment saying that it was Eugene Robinson, so that was pretty funny. And then the distraction doesn't work though because Ken Shamrock throws Owen Hart into the ropes, and it causes the Blue Blazer to get crotched on the turnbuckle. And Ken Shamrock hits the belly-to-back suplex for the win. The finish was rushed, but you kind of have to give him a little leeway with that because I have a feeling the first half of the Super Bowl was probably counting down, so they had to rush the finish. So
yeah,
I still gave that 3 stars as well. It was good. So, what about you? What are your thoughts about this match?
I thought it was decent enough match, just like the other one. Both really solid Sunday Night Heat matchups.
I thought this was going to be the match where they were just going to cut right to the, it wasn't going to have a finish. So, you could tell though that this show was definitely taped when you watch it because they had some stuff edited out and stuff. So.
Oh yeah.
And I think there was a point where like Shane was talking, but you could clearly see he wasn't saying anything in real life. So I think they definitely taped this show. And then it shows the WWF Super Bowl commercial where they talk about how it's an awesome commercial. You could probably easily find this online somewhere.
Oh, it's on YouTube.
Yeah. Where they pretty much try to talk about how they're like this great company, and nothing bad's going to happen. And pretty much everything that they would say, the opposite would happen. Like Stone Cold Steve Austin said that, like, we don't believe in people up. And he grabs a chair and hits, like, one of the crew members right across the back with it, which was funny.
That was hilarious. It's a fucking hilarious commercial.
Like Deborah would talk about how they don't condone sex or any of that. You just see people having sex in the background, like. And then I think the Undertaker said that that we're a positive influence on our fans, and you just see people having a fight in the background, and then you see Mankind say that we're good for Mankind, and that was kind of a funny cheesy joke because his name's Mankind, and you could just see in the background Mankind's falling apart, it was just, and then you see Vince McMahon is just happy after someone fell out of the building and all that, I don't. If you haven't seen this,
crazy.
Yeah, if you haven't seen this commercial, it's awesome. So definitely watch it because it's awesome. So then you have the main event, which was weird because this was the halftime show, they did an introduction again because a lot of people weren't watching it at the time, and they I don't know, it was weird. And it was an empty arena match for the WWF Championship. WWF Champion The Rock versus Mankind. And obviously Vince was doing commentary for this match, which, like we talked about, Vince was mainly playing both sides. He was definitely in favor of The Rock, but he was still doing the play-by-play stuff. He sounded like how he normally would if he was on commentary back in the Hogan era and the New Generation era. So I thought that was nice.
Yeah.
It was probably nice nostalgia, too, because a lot of people were probably like, oh, this is pretty cool. We get to hear Vince on commentary again and stuff, because it was pretty damn cool. And The Rock was wrestling in street clothes. And I bet a lot of people were thinking that Mankind wasn't winning the match, because guess what he got, Chris? He got the jobber entrance.
He got the jobber entrance.
Which was kind of funny. But yeah, I got to break down the storyline because I forgot. So at Survivor Series, they did the double turn where The Rock turned his back and joined the corporation, because obviously Mankind was very in favor of Vince was very in favor of Mankind. He was supposed to be the corporate champion, but then he turned his back on Mankind. And then obviously they had the match at Rock Bottom where Mankind won, but it didn't count because The Rock didn't tap out. He passed out. It was just a bullshit way to keep the title on The Rock. And then we obviously had that awesome moment on Raw where Mankind won the title, which obviously hurt WCW a lot because they gave it away thinking no one would watch it. But guess what? They lost. Did. They lost all their ratings. I hope AEW does that actually, but they can't do that because obviously Raw's not taped. So, and then obviously you had the Royal Rumble match where they had the I Quit match, and that's very disturbing to watch with The Rock just repeatedly hitting Mankind in the head with the unprotected chair shots. But obviously Mankind quit, But he didn't really quit because obviously The Rock did the whole tape recorder thing, which they tried to redo later on in 2011, but that one failed. But this one actually succeeded. But I like that finish actually a lot. That's a very clever finish in an I Quit match because
it is a really clever finish.
I know they're not going to do, and obviously they're not going to do that finish probably ever again because I don't think they're ever going to have an I Quit match ever again because they haven't had one like ever. I think since like 2011 actually was the last time I remember having one. So, and then Mankind pretty much called The Rock on it, so he challenged him to an empty arena match. Which, if you don't know what an empty arena match is, it's exactly what it says. It's an empty arena match. Except it really wasn't an empty arena. You saw there was clearly Michael Cole even said on this show that like no one was going to be in attendance of the arena, but when they would go backstage, you saw people were like still there. It was kind of weird. So
yeah,
and we do got to say too it how much of a difference like Michael Cole is today than he was back then. Like
yeah,
he's
still at the beginning of his career.
Definitely, he was. I think he was. He just started like doing commentary fully on Raw and stuff. But he would mainly be he was obviously he was mainly the backstage interviewer. But I remember he was just starting commentary at this time too. So
yeah.
And then obviously he would stop after WrestleMania 15. I should mention before other notable people that were on this show. Teddy Long was the referee in the Jeff Jarrett Big Boss Man match. But that's kind of ironic because I don't think, obviously because he became the GM and everything like that. So
yeah.
And then Ken Shamrock and Tim White was the referee with Ken Shamrock and Owen Hart because obviously we know that Tim White committed suicide around 2006. So, and obviously we're kidding, by the way. Because obviously, if you're not a wrestling fan, you wouldn't know we're not kidding. I'm referencing the skits that they did on like Line and stuff like that.
Yeah, so. This is so stupidly funny.
Yeah. No, actually, he did commit suicide.
We killed Josh Matthews.
Yeah, that's why that joke wasn't funny because I got the facts wrong. So he tried to commit suicide.
But Josh kept interrupting him.
Yeah.
Until he killed him.
And then obviously you had the whole thing where he would go, Tim, that's not wise. And then obviously at the end he would say,
that's not wise.
And then obviously at the end when he killed Josh, he's like, Josh, that was not wise. Which is kind of weird. Like I know like that's probably not supposed to be logic, but why all of a sudden now if you want to kill yourself like in 2006 when you supposedly like had your referee career ended in 2002? Like what happened in between?
Yeah.
We didn't see. I don't know. But let's talk about the match. And this is kind of like Ultimate Deletion and Final Deletion, where you can't take this match seriously, because this is it's not exactly like that, but if you go into this match, like expecting like an in-ring classic, you're not going to get that match because
it's just a hardcore match, basically.
Yeah, but it was pretty cool. I wish they would do this again. I mean, obviously they probably can't do this again now because they would have to find a different arena and stuff, but it'd be pretty cool because this clearly, obviously, was taped like earlier in the day or whatever. So I think they easily could do this with the empty arena. But Mankind, what was kind of cool about this too is you get to actually hear what they were saying when they're actually talking to each other. So Mankind let The Rock have the first punch, and they brawl back and forth, and Mankind, obviously gets the advantage early, hits the double arm DDT, so he hits his finish like 2 seconds into the match. He tries to pin The Rock, but The Rock kicks out. He gets him in the mandible claw, but The Rock escapes. And then Mankind hits the baseball drop kick on the outside, the neck breaker on the floor, and it's falls count anywhere too. I didn't mention that. And Mankind covers him. The Rock kicks out, and that's kind of funny because The Rock swore right when he kicked out, which was funny. And Mankind bounces The Rock off the ring bell, and he throws him into the steps, and he starts talking shit to Vince, saying that he's going to be next. And then the Rock Irish whips Mankind right into the barricade, and the barricade like breaks. And The Rock was awesome in this match because he would. It wasn't just the way he was wrestling; he was like talking trash to Mankind.
The whole time.
Yeah, I mean they both were, but it was mainly The Rock. The Rock throws Mankind into just a stack of chairs that you would see when you go to a wrestling show. And
very early on, it was Mankind for a little bit at the beginning, and then it just became The Rock. It became The Rock just beat the shit out of him the next at least 5 minutes.
Yeah, and The Rock even was talking to us saying, "Let me give you some steel chairs," and throws chairs at him. He asks for the commentary headset, and he does a Rock style promo talking about how it's halftime heat. And Mankind pops up behind him and puts the mandible claw on as he's got the commentary headset on, and The Rock low blows him. And The Rock runs away from Mankind, and he hides behind the exit if you were gonna leave an arena to the concession stand, and he hits Mankind repeatedly off the head with a trash can and kicks The Rock down the stairs. And then The Rock would proceed to say that Mankind's a piece of trash and dumped trash on Mankind. And they fought in the where you would go make the concessions, and Mankind breaks one of those sticks that holds cotton candy right across Mankind's back, and he even says, "You want cotton candy? I bet you want some, but you're not gonna pay for it, you cheap bastard," or something like that. He grabs Sacco and puts Sacco in the oven. And he even does a thin mock in Sacco saying, "No, please don't put me in the oven." He's like, "Get your monkey ass in the oven."
Is prime shit talk at this point.
Yeah, and then he throws him. He actually bounced Mankind off the oven, which you could clearly see his head didn't go into the oven. It was his hand.
And it clearly wasn't on, but they had to make it sound like it was on.
Yeah, and then he throws Mankind over at a table that had lemonade on it. And he's like, You want some lemonade, huh?" And then he hits Mankind off the head with a cookie sheet, but that's obviously very famous, in the early stages of hardcore wrestling. So, and then The Rock hits Mankind off the head with a package of hot dog rolls, and then The Rock throws Mankind over the dishes. And it was really funny because the Mankind's trying to get to his feet, and he knocks the dishes over. He's like, "Stop making a mess!" It was awesome. And then Mankind fights back. He throws The Rock over the dishes, and he grabs a popcorn bag and hits The Rock over the head with it repeatedly. And they fight towards catering, I guess. And The Rock slams a door in Mankind's face, and he tries the popcorn. He says it's too salty. And Vince would say on commentary,
"That was fucking hilarious."
Vince would say on commentary, "The Rock's feeling salty tonight." And that was and then they fight over the concessions. They throw food at each other, and then The Rock threw mild barbecue sauce at him, and it was got in Mankind's eye, and The Rock said, "You pussy! It's only mild."
You could definitely not get away with saying that nowadays.
Yeah, definitely. And then Mankind tries to fight back. He tries to power drive The Rock on the floor, on the which was concrete, and Mankind, The Rock countered with a backdrop over the table. And he doesn't go through it, but he goes over all the food and stuff. And The Rock hits Mankind with literally squash. And The Rock even said, "I don't even know what the hell this is." That was hilarious. And they pretty much just destroy catering. So, and Vince even says, "If you want seconds, you're not getting any now." So, and then he throws literally water that was in a punch bowl right into Mankind's face, and he refreshes himself and dumps Pepsi on the Mankind, and they fight into the office. And the fold would win, and The Rock picks it up the first time and says, "SmackDown Hotel, oh man, you want to speak to Mankind? Mankind's not available right now because he got The Rock's foot in his mouth." That was funny. And then it wins the second time. And says, "Oh, you want to speak to Mankind? Well, he's a little tapped up. No, not tapped. He's a little tied up right now." And he choked Mankind with the phone cord. But that would happen today.
That was hilarious. You'll never fucking see any of this nowadays.
No, you wouldn't. And then he tries to hit on one of the girls, and The Rock says, "Well, you don't want any piece of The Rock. Get the hell out of here." And obviously, this distraction allows Mankind to fight back, and he throws The Rock into a wall, and then they fight over to the I forget what they called it, but where the loading dock. They fight over to the loading dock, and Mankind puts the mandible claw on the Rock, and there was a forklift. Mankind throws the guy out of it, and he lowers the forklift, and it had like a bunch of barrels on it. Coincidentally, they just happened to be there.
They just happened to be there.
And he puts him on the Rock. This actually was a clever finish, and and the ref makes the cover because obviously the Rock's not kicking out of this because he's under. You're not kicking out if you're underneath a forklift. I like to Mankind that had to ask if his shoulders were down too, because you imagine his shoulders weren't down, he would have had to like lift up the forklift again. And Mankind wins the match and becomes a brand new WWF champion. But this match, I thought was awesome. I gave it 4 stars. Because it's really very entertaining match right here. It's good. Any additional thoughts you have about this match?
You basically covered it all. But
I know.
It's definitely 4 stars. It just had everything in it.
Yeah, definitely.
It had the comedy. It had pretty good wrestling. Very good commentary, and it was a goofy match because they were fighting all over the arena, making a fucking complete mess of everything.
Yeah.
I would hate to be the fucking maintenance crew that would have to come in the next day and have to clean that shit up.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, they fucking they broke plates. They must have broke at least fucking 20 plates.
Yeah, I think they did.
The fucking popcorn was all over the place. Like, it's hysterical. It was a great, great match.
Yeah. And obviously the aftermath was they had the rematch at St. Valent. Because Stone Cold Steve Austin, too, they mentioned was supposed to be there, but they were doing that whole storyline where...
Oh, yeah, wait, he couldn't touch Vince.
Yeah.
Or else he'd be fired. So, because Austin was going to do commentary, but, yeah, that's probably not a good idea if you can't
Can you imagine
in any way, shape, or form.
Can you imagine how entertaining it would have been to hear Vince and Stone Cold on commentary?
Oh, I know, yeah. Like, if they didn't have that stipulation in place where Austin couldn't, like, physically harm McMahon, he would have given him a stunner.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, obviously they would have the rematch at St. Valentine's Day Massacre in the Last Man Standing match where they would have a no contest, and then The Rock would win the belt the next night in the ladder match. And obviously he would go on and defend the belt against Stone Cold Steve Austin and lose it. And then obviously... The Rock was made in this feud with Mankind, as well as Mankind was, too. So
yeah, kind of turned a babyface in a way.
Because, yeah, definitely.
Like we said, like after during WrestleMania, Triple H turned heel.
Yeah.
And joined the corporation, and then they basically Shane kicked out The Rock from the corporation.
Yeah.
And The Rock went on to become the top babyface, and they left him babyface this time. They didn't change him fucking heel.
Well, I think they changed him heel. They changed him heel the first time because I don't think he got over that time as a face, so they had to change him.
His first heel turn, he wasn't over as a babyface. From almost the get-go.
Yeah.
They didn't like him. But then after the Nation broke up, that's when he turned babyface again, and he was absolutely beloved. And then they did that whole Survivor Series tournament where Rock turns heel and joins the corporation.
I feel like though you could say I feel like The Rock wouldn't be who he is today if he didn't turn heel though at joining the corporation though in a way.
Oh, and yeah, I mean,
because that kind of made like The Rock's character in a way.
It did, but from that short period of time that he was a babyface, after the Nation broke up and before he joined the corporation, he's already going to become a big star anyway.
Yeah.
But this it just made him even more of a big star.
Oh yeah, exactly. And it made Mankind a star too. Mankind
a big star, and it's hilarious too because not long after they kick him out of the corporation, they start teaming up.
Yeah.
And it produces some of the best content in WWF/WWE history.
Actually, didn't The Rock turn face because of the "This Is Your Life" segment?
No, he was already face before that.
Oh.
That's how they became after he left the corporation, though.
That's how he became That's how they became a tag team, though.
They became a tag team.
You're yelling.
And then
Just hold on.
And then obviously The Rock became the top guy once Austin had to leave because that's really what made him like he was still the top guy, but he was like the top guy once Austin had to leave for his injury. So,
Yeah.
because they needed like a new top guy. So, and then obviously Vince. We don't even need to say what Vince is. He's still there. So
The things.
yeah, he's in the exact same position that he was in then, except he's not on TV as regularly up until just recently. So
yeah.
And then we did look this up. Kevin Kelly is in New Japan, and Shane is still there. Obviously, he would be gone for like a few years after 2009, but then is still there. But returned in 2016 and is actually one half of the tag team champions today. So, I don't think anyone would have predicted that. So
Nope.
And then yeah, that's pretty much this show. And now we're gonna do I'll let you grade this show first.
I give it a B minus.
Yeah, I might too. It's a good show. It's a good show. I mean, I don't. Obviously, they weren't like producing this show though, expecting like an A+ because, I feel like because the Super Bowl was on the same night and stuff. So,
Yeah.
But I would definitely give it a B-. So it's definitely a good show. It does have some good matches on it and stuff. It's definitely worth checking out for that empty arena match, though. If you haven't seen that, then you have to watch the show. And obviously the China promo in the beginning is good too. So, and there's Pyro on the show too. If you want to see Pyro, go watch the show because you don't get to see that anymore. So.
I don't know. Yeah, there's Pyro.
But now, Chris gets to pick his show he wants to review. Now, obviously, and actually, I do want to say too, this was not the only. A lot of people think this is the only halftime heat. This actually isn't the only halftime heat because they did one in 2000. Well,
let's see who we're gonna pick here.
But yeah, let's talk about predictions. Not predictions. Sorry. Because we can't predict a past wrestling show. It doesn't make any sense.
Predict. Who do you have winning?
We'll do that here. Okay. Yeah, because this year they're doing halftime heat again, which a lot of people think that it's stupid they are doing halftime of the Super Bowl because they don't think it would do. How do you think this halftime heat will do this year?
I think it'll do pretty good.
I mean, the thing is too, they have the network, so if it doesn't get the live views, people can watch it later.
Yeah.
I bet. Are you gonna watch halftime heat this year?
Yes.
Which is you'll probably be like around non-wrestling fans, so you'll have to like.
I'm gonna watch it.
Huh?
I'm gonna watch it on my phone.
No PS4 for you.
Nope.
Gonna listen to. Like, what would you rather watch?
I am literally gonna be doing both.
Yeah. What would you rather watch, Maroon 5 though, or this halftime heat show they got coming up?
Halftime heat.
Because I haven't reviewed Takeover yet. I'm doing that tonight. But what happened this week, which I kind of like that they did this because this stuff happens in NXT. They had a big brawl with Adam Cole, DIY, Aleister Black, Ricochet, and Velveteen Dream. And we were obviously everyone was thinking this is going to set up a 6-man tag team match. Well, it did. It just is happening on halftime heat during the Super Bowl, which I have no clue when this is going to air because I'm not going to be watching the Super Bowl. So you're going to have to text me when it starts.
Yeah.
Which I can put because obviously I don't think this you can't probably find it on the network because of the halftime, is unpredictable when it's probably going to happen. So, but we're going to have this match, which I think this match obviously makes a lot of sense. A lot of the guys' feuds are in there. You got Tommaso Ciampa, who's feuding with Aleister Black, and kind of a Ricochet because of the Johnny Gargano thing. Same thing with Johnny Gargano and Ricochet. And then you have Velveteen Dream and Adam Cole, who just recently started feuding. Now we're doing this because we tied at the long possible places on TakeOver and the Royal Rumble. Because of course, the 2 kickoff matches we tied on. So that kind of sucks.
I know, yeah.
But who do you got for this match?
Ricochet, Aleister Black, and Velveteen Dream.
I'm gonna pick the other team because I think I think it's gonna be Aleister Black's last match anyway. So I think why not just have him put somebody over on the way out, and have him put over Tommaso Ciampa or Ricochet. Or obviously you can't put over Ricochet because he's teaming with them. So, um, but I think the heel team will get the win. And I heard they're gonna do this match live at Full Sail too. Not live, obviously, but at Full Sail too, which is gonna be interesting. Shawn Michaels will be on commentary for it too, which is gonna be pretty excited. But yeah, that's now you're gonna do your pick of what you want to do for a show. Now, obviously, the stipulations. I'll mention the stipulations real quick. You have WrestleMania, any WrestleMania, except 19 and 22, because me and John already did those. So obviously, if you wanted to do those are out of the question now. And then NXT, any of the NXT takeovers, a Hall of Fame, which you and I have discussed. There is going to be that one guy that will probably do a Hall of Fame. But I've come to realize that that's not the only part of WrestleMania weekend, because the Raws and the SmackDowns and sometimes the 205 Lives, once in a while the main events and the superstars, sometimes the shows after WrestleMania are just as part of the WrestleMania experience. Now, I wrote down all the shows that you can do. I'll just say them real quick. You could do Tuesday Night Titans from April 6, 1985. And then the next Tuesday Night Titans from 1986, April 9th. Then Primetime Wrestling from March 30th, 1987. Primetime Wrestling for April 3rd, 1988. And then the night after Raw, any night after Raw, from 93 on. I'm not going to say the whole dates because that would just take too long. And then the night after SmackDown from 2000, because that's the first SmackDown after Mania up until now. And then a 205 Live afterwards, a Superstars afterwards, and a main event afterwards. But I don't think you're picking main
Don't
event,
you
so.
fucking dare even mention that.
Okay. I just got... I guess you're not picking main event, so...
You're damn right I am.
So what do you pick? What is your pick?
Hall of Fame 2005.
Hall of Fame 2005?
No, it's not. It's WrestleMania 21.
WrestleMania. That's a good pick right there. All right, but we got to.
I wanted to do either 18, 20, or 21.
What made you? Well, obviously I can't ask you that, like, because you're gonna say it in the next video. So you got to come up with a reason why you're picking WrestleMania 21. And if James is on next time, he gets the next pick. But if he's not on it the next time, then I get the next pick, because you don't get two picks. Well, that's not fair. Now, now maybe I'll do main event next time. So just
No.
But yeah, we have to actually schedule it too, because you have to be on it the next time because it's your pick. When can you do WrestleMania 21?
Wednesday.
All right, Wednesday. We'll do a Wednesday then. I'll give it. I've actually seen most of the matches on the card. I just haven't seen the full show.
Yeah, I got to see the full show. I've seen like the different matches too, also.
Yeah, which it's a very significant WrestleMania, because we just reviewed the Royal Rumble 2005, so that makes sense. So there's that. Huh?
Very significant.
Yeah.
I didn't even think of that, honestly.
Yeah.
That wasn't the reason why. I just liked some of the matches on the card. And the first, I'll just say it here, but the first Money in the Bank match, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
And Kurt Angle and Shawn Michaels.
Yep.
The two main events of Batista and Triple H and John Cena and JBL.
Yep. So obviously it's very... You'll have to say it again in the next one, too, but...
And basically every match on the card, besides Aki Bono in the Big Show and the women's match. Because I don't even remember how this match even played out.
Well, you get to see it when you watch WrestleMania 21, which I have a feeling, because it's your pick, you're going to be watching this show. But you didn't watch the Royal Rumble 2005, so...
I did watch it.
You didn't watch the whole show?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
But yeah, now that we're going to sign off now, is there anything you would like to plug or promote, or are you just here?
I'm here.
I mean, that at least you're here. So
I'm here.
And obviously, you can obviously check out my other channels, Owen the Talkinator and CM Brothers, and we're gonna be doing obviously the wrestling rundown. Chris can't be on it today because it's airing at 10 o'clock and he wants to go to sleep. So you can do the show while you're sleeping too. You did our live reactions while you're sleeping before.
I could.
Because if you guys don't know the joke, he fell asleep doing one of the live reactions once.
I did because I was exhausted.
and if you go back and watch that video, we can hear you snoring. Yeah, we got a lot of stuff coming up on this channel. We got the wrestling rundown it's going to be taped. I shouldn't say taped because they don't do that anymore. Recorded at 10 o'clock. Probably going to be up by 3 in the morning. Isn't that fun? And then we have to do 2 rundowns next week because there's no way we're going to be able to squeeze in I think we're going to do one video that focuses on like the World Cup. I don't know what it's called, but you know, that World Cup, that World Collide thing they're doing with NXT UK and stuff, and the halftime heat show. That would be one video, and then the other rundown will be just the typical video.
When do you want to do that?
We could do one of them Thursday, and then either Thursday, Friday, or Saturday. You can take your pick.
We'll do that Thursday. We'll do that Thursday.
Which one? I think we got to do that NXT one first because that's happening first. So
yeah. So Worlds Collide's gonna be Thursday.
Yeah, maybe we'll do Thursday and then Saturday, so that way you can have a day's break.
Yeah,
from me.
Then.
Because you don't want to deal with me 2 days in a row. So
probably not. I'll see you anyway.
Oh yeah, so might as well just do it Thursday and Friday then, because you'll just see me you won't get a day's break from me anyway. So
damn it.
I bet you're just thinking about that right now. I was like, oh, I was so close. Oh, obviously, because I'm wearing the shirt, even though it's backwards. But NoDQ.com. We don't even need to plug them though. They don't need us. So so yeah, that's pretty much it. We're gonna sign off now. We'll talk to you later. Chris, say bye to everybody.
Bye.
Bye.